Senator Blake Johnson. You're recognized.
The review subcommittee met on Tuesday and reviewed the methods of finance, discretionary grants, 2 agency ratifications, RFQ approval requests, and services contracts. All items presented for the month were reviewed, and I move for adoption of this report.
All right, thank you, Senator. We have a question. Representative Wooten, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question has to do with 2 interrelated in the Department of Education. Here we approved $4 million contract extension for the Freedom Accounts. That's $4 million. And then on the other hand, we're cutting 40% out of the readiness program for preschool children to be able to attend daycare centers that are providers also of pre-K. So my question is, did you as a committee have knowledge of this change in policy by the Department of Education before you approved the $4 million?
You asking me?
Representative Wooten, who are you directing that question to?
Well, to whoever presented the report.
That's Senator Johnson.
Do you know what page it's on?
It's on page.
It's on page 40, out-of-state contracts. Department of Education, if you would come forward.
All right, get someone from the Department of Ed. You would just introduce yourself for the record and we'll get on with it.
Courtney Salas Ford to the staff, Department of Education.
Greg Rogers, Department of Education.
Representative Wooten, why don't you ask these folks a question?
Thank you. Thank you all for being present today. I know it's enjoyable when I call you up here or ask for information. You have asked for a $4 million extension to a contract to verify the expenses for the economic or for the Freedom Accounts. Is that correct?
That contract encompasses multiple things. That is one piece of
That's
it.
not my question. Did you ask for
Representative Wooten, let him answer your question before you interrupt him, please.
Did you ask for a $4 million extension?
On the contract that covers multiple things, yes.
Multiple things?
Yes.
According to the press, it covers economic, it covers the Freedom Accounts. Is that correct?
I'm not sure what the press says about it. EFAs is one piece of it. It also covers literacy tutoring grants and school safety grants.
So you're not aware of what the $4 million is going to be spent for?
Yes, sir. It's to Class Wallet, the entity that administers education freedom accounts, literacy tutoring grants, and school safety grants.
Okay. My question is, if you can find $4 million in your accounts down there, why are you cutting 40%? And I've been told by the chairman, Mr. Eves, Representative Eves, about the COVID money. But all we gave the folks out there in my district and statewide was a week notice that we were going to cut their income by 40%. Is that correct?
The School Readiness Assistance Program that you're referring to is a federally funded program. The $4 million for the contract is state funded, so they're completely separate funding. And I can go into great detail, but there's a lot of nuances and issues that arise when you mingle state and federal funds. And so if we were to infuse state funding into the SRA federal program, again, there are long-term consequences of that. And so the two are really pretty separate.
Well, my follow-up question, if I may, is do you have the money down there to intercede and to keep 40% of the money from being taken away from these pre-K students?
we're not keeping or taking away any money. The federal funding is no longer there to
Well,
fund that
I
program.
realize that, but do y'all have funds to replace it? You've
No,
got
sir, we
$4
do
million,
not.
well, you have $4 million to spend for the private schools. What about the parents of these students out here? And I'm getting phone calls from all over my district, from providers and from parents. And there's many of them that will not be able to complete this year with a 40% reduction overnight with a week's notice. And you're telling this body that y'all don't have the money down there to step in and fill in what the federal government is pulling out.
What I'm saying is that is a federally funded program, that those funds are no longer available. And to infuse state funds into a federal program creates a lot more issues, including MOE, supplements of plant, ongoing obligations of the
I
state.
think you have made the point clear that the federal government, my question is, do y'all not have the money down there to step in and make up the shortfall? That's my question. If you've got $4 million to put into the freedom accounts,
I
What
understand your
about
question, but
these
it's not an
people?
easy yes or no.
these are
Representative
people
Wood.
that can't afford.
Representative Wooten.
She's not answering my question.
She's answering your question, but I have a suggestion. There's going to be a very in-depth meeting over this topic next week. I believe it's Tuesday at 1 o'clock. The Education Committee is going to dive into this pretty deeply. So that might be a better place to make your points, because at this point, we're talking about an item that is not even on this agenda.
But I hope they have a better answer for that.
I would imagine they'll be prepared for that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Senator Love, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And actually, I thought that item was the school readiness is one of the items here, because we talked about it in committee. Is that not correct?
That is not on the agenda. The item that was being discussed was the class wallet.
Okay. Well, let me answer this. In that same vein, though, you're saying that they're going to have a meeting September 30th?
Next Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
So then are the cuts still expected to go into effect October 1st?
Yes.
So then that gives us a day to make adjustments, if we are to make any adjustments?
We were asked to come and present at the subcommittee meeting on September 30th, which we're happy to do and come explain, but that does not change what's to occur on October 1st.
Okay, before we take this item up, then what I'd like to do is I would like to make sure I'm in a comment as far as when we go into discussion. I want a discussion on this item.
You got it. Senator Hammer.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to bring clarity to my mind, if nobody else is, the $4 million that's under discussion on the current contract, even if we could, which my understanding is we can't, none of that money could be used in order to address the issue of the preschool that's on the table for discussion. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And this is just an extension of an existing contract that has nothing to do with the preschool issue at hand, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Then what I'd like to ask is when you come to the meeting next Tuesday, please bring all fund balances for all the accounts at the Department of Ed under their jurisdiction to that meeting next Tuesday, if you would, please. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Representative Lehman.
Point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Lehman, hold on just a second. Let me hear your point of order.
I have a motion on the table. Not in discussion.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry. If you would, hit your button.
I have a motion on the table. We're not in discussion.
No, we're in the question and answer phase. I'll get back to you in just a second. Go ahead, Representative Lehman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Totally different direction here, but when I saw this, now that y'all are at the table, item 4 there, the $4 million, school safety is very important, and you had a grant program. I had a number of schools that called me that applied, didn't get the money, and their question was, is there going to be more money, more grant money for school safety. I hope I'm not off base here, but would this include any additional funding to improve school safety?
So yeah, this is just dealing with those private schools. So we're offering this to class law for the private schools. There is a separate pot that is still working with our school safety team, is working with public schools to reissue. I think there's about $35 million in there that our school safety team is working with school districts in the state.
For the private schools?
No, sir, that's just for the public school. The private schools are going through the class law because they don't receive the money, they only get reimbursed for school safety things they do. For public schools, that goes through ABSCAN and we're tracking those expenditures through a separate thing. But your private public schools are still going to have the opportunity to get a grant process for public school safety grants.
Thank you.
All right, Senator Hill.
Immediate consideration for approval.
Thank you for that. Members, seeing no other questions, we have a motion from Senator Johnson. We have a second? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Hang on. I promised Senator Love I'd give him a moment during discussion of this item. Is that what you're asking for? We have a motion and a second. It's time for discussion. All right, meeting consideration. All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. The ayes have it. Thank you. Members, that takes us down to item 12.